We are alive, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying your evening. This is Tio and the Arcane Bear. And as you can tell behind me right now, everything's green. And when it goes red, that's when I'll turn bearish. But for now, everything's fine. Okay. So what I want to do today is remember, if you show up to the screen and for some reason you see shit's red, you should be worried. If you see shit's green, we're all good still. Okay, what I want to do is go over Bitcoin predominantly and take a look at the rest of the digital assets. Now, for those of you that have been joining us for quite some time, you will recognize something very specific, and I hope that you do at least, because we've been spending a lot of time studying that. And if you don't know why we would be doing this, well, then it's been a waste of my time. So please do your homework. And what we're about to look at next, I think, is extremely important. So about a week ago, when everyone was still looking at $20,000 Bitcoin as a potential, I said, hey guys, we're probably going to run straight up to $40,000. You can go back and watch those videos. And the reason why I said that, well, it's not my own call. Now, please, one of the first things I'd like to recognize is that, guys, I'm just like a market whisperer. What I'm trying to do is get better and better at interpreting the markets, not coming to my own conclusion like, oh, I made the call and it did this, and because I said it would do that, look how awesome I am. That's the sign of a narcissist. And although I do like to consider myself quite confident about my own ridiculous behavior, it's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to listen to the markets and interpret it, much like I would be if I was improvising music. I want to hear the other players. And right now, the players that I'm listening to are things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Link, etc. So right now, you see a lot of red in Ethereum, Link, Cardano. Everything's dropped quite a bit, 5% down on Aave to 475 from 530 this morning. Why is that? Well, Bitcoin is our monetary asset of this ecosystem, and this run to $40,000 we've been looking for quite some time, and there's a reason for that, and it's because of this. It's this one simple chart changes your lives forever. I was going to pause this so it's not playing in the background. Boom. There it is. This is the reaccumulation pattern. This is a conventional Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern, and as you can see, we have not changed anything in our drawing in weeks. Almost 30 days we've been sitting in this drawing now and haven't touched it. Now all we've done is added this new secondary test, which we hit last week. I had a question mark on it previously, but as we closed above this descending channel, and more importantly, we're probably going to hit around $40,000. We might see quick wicks up to 42,000. As again, I've said in my previous videos, you can go look at those. The reason being is this is a very powerful pattern. Reaccumulation is extremely important to understand. It's because it means the share is moving from weak hands into strong hands. And right now, the bigger players have been trying to shake you out, trying to shake out the weak hands. Like, come on, get out of there so we can get that cheap Bitcoin from the retail markets. But as we know, when we look at Glassnode, the supply, the open supply specifically, has been decreasing dramatically. So what we want to do is, number one, we'll just leave it clear and simple. If you see green, things are fine. If you see red, that means I will have changed my sentiment. Maybe I'll even leave it like that. So for probably the next 300 days, it gets to be green. Yay. And that goes along for the rest of the ecosystem. Now, again, what's interesting is this little movement right here, as we started to break above this area of resistance, which is one of our first areas here. I'll draw it in. This wick here, as soon as we got above there, look what it did to Ethereum. It dropped Ethereum back down to the top of its backup phase. Link, again, I'm looking for another retouch of this trend line, maybe even down as low as the POC. ADA barely even touched the momentum of Cardano right now, which is pretty impressive to see. Aave, we saw a lot bigger start of a distribution. We broke through its primary trading support effectively. So I'd spoke with a few of you guys, and again, it's pretty. You want to set a stop loss at some of these trading ranges when we get higher. Up to you how much I think is really, and how you want to diversify that stop loss. But at this point, like what we're going to see is this might be a primary support, and we might see a bigger trading range take place here for Aave. Hard to say. We do have a lot bigger targets on Aave. So when we see these big distributions, what we can do is actually compare it to Bitcoin. Now, if we go out on the further chart, I'd gone over this earlier as one of the private bear members, was the comparison of Bitcoin to Aave right now. And what's fun is we can make conjecture and make this a really powerful learning experience if we start to look at the relationship. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this lower trading range here that I just circled in the red with Aave's trading range, which I'm going to get rid of some of our momentum indicators here, this trading range here in the red. I'll go to the 1 hour so it's a little clearer. This one specifically. We'll wait till the chart to load, but we can see a rising gradient bottom followed by one and then two trading ranges with a horizontal, a rising wedge, and then a big breakout before a larger distribution. So rising gradient bottom, first accumulation, second, and then there's the wedge for Bitcoin, and then a big distribution phase. Well, not distribution, the micro distribution, or at least a much larger accumulation. So one of the fun things about being able to look at so many different assets as they evolve is understanding that a lot of the people that have tens or hundreds of millions of dollars are investing in multiple versions of these ideas. So they're not just moving into Bitcoin, they're moving into this entire sector. So when they move their footprint, they move their footprint throughout the entire sector. And we've gone over this a little bit earlier in the videos today, but if look at the similarities between Ethereum, Link, Cardano, and Aave. Although Aave is a little bit further ahead in this particular progression, this mostly has to do with the question of the supply that's on the open market. Look at this, the similarities here between these, what was a rising wedge to the backup phase and then a breakout. So Cardano, rising wedge, breakout, no backup phase yet. So we could make some conclusions. Oh, did I just lose the camera? No. Oh, that's a bug inside. Okay. That's what a bug sounds like. Okay, back to the charts. So when we see these types of similarities, this is the footprint of CompMan, effectively. These rising gradients, excuse me. These rising wedges that we're witnessing right now are, I believe, the footprint of CompMan. And it's not just CompMan interested in Bitcoin or Ethereum or Link or Cardano or Aave. It's him stepping in all of these assets. Now, every time he steps in an asset, what he deals, or she, maybe it's a comp woman. We could go either way. It doesn't matter. The comp operator. You have this big move in supply due to the illiquidity of the product. So depending on how much is left in each open market. Now, so for instance, we can use Link as an example. Here you have Link, and you could be like, oh, we're the Link Marines. We just buy Link. Link to the moon. Link's going to $1,000 overnight. I don't know how many of those stupid tweets I saw. But when you see that type of cultish mentality, what you need to understand is that that's the mindset of basically a retail or rookie investor. Anyone who gets cultish and, like, let's say religious about their investments is missing the point here dramatically. So because of that, what you're going to likely end up with is a big waiting period to shake out that retail hand. Right here in Link, through this rising gradient pattern, you've got a 55% move. Through Cardano, whoa, what happened there? Spicy button pressing. What is this? Back up to the 4 hour. I don't even know what button I clicked there. That was impressive. There we go. Okay, so for Cardano, I pressed the zoom in button, I see. Okay, 95% through this trading range. For Ethereum, from the bottom of the shakeout to where we are now, 85% to this trading range. So again, because of this, when you have Link is a great example, when you have, let's say, cult investors instead of intelligent value investors, and I don't mean to be offensive when I say that, but I would rather invest in things I find interesting than things I find I'm religious about, because that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my mind. But you get this really long backup phase where what it tries to do is shake you out of your position, be like, oh my God, Link's so boring because look at Aave is just exploding. But they're in the exact same pattern, just in a different stage. So it wants to try to shake you out. So Link might have this SOS come up for this backup phase for another 2 weeks. In the meantime, Bitcoin is probably going to run to $42,000, right? And we had gone over this weeks ago, approximately 2 weeks ago. I was like, yep, Bitcoin's going to run to $40,000 next. This is when we were down here at 30 grand. You can go back about like 10 videos. I went over this. I've gone over this almost every day with you guys, I think. So remember, to simplify it, red, I've changed my sentiment. Green, everything's still in the bull market. So for now, we'll just leave it like that. It's the first clear indicator. If you start this stream and you see green, you're like, okay, good. I'm patient. I'll come back. I don't even need to watch the rest of the video. Just what color is the damn background of Tio's screen? That's all you want to know. Okay, so Bitcoin right now is likely making this push into resistance, which we've gone over again in this reaccumulation pattern. One of the reasons why I've been so fucking confident is because I've really grown to learn that what we're charting is human emotion. And no matter how good we get at building computers, your human emotion is still the same. You're still like a weak little person. All of us are when it comes to managing emotions with tens or hands. Well, let's be a little bit more conservative with money. If you're operating on limited supply of money, you become very emotional about your investments. I'm not currently sitting in that position, so I have no reason to be emotional about my thesis. All I'm trying to do is, again, I'm trying to listen to what the market is whispering. And since we saw that first automatic rally and secondary test here, or what I call a shakeout, not an automatic rally, this is my own personal preference for that, this to me became the very clear predominant factor that we are about to see a new reaccumulation pattern. Now, what's funny is that this is going to run up here. We're probably going to bounce around at the top, and then I think we're going to get a big backup phase that comes right around 34,000, and then we're going to run to like $60,000 or $80,000 Bitcoin. Again, this I've said for the last 3 weeks. I have not once changed my sentiment. I know that's boring. Go, 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 go. Let me change my idea every day, and maybe somebody's got no. Look, I have had the same thesis and opinion for weeks now, and that's what's fun about building this confidence is when you move the prejudice of emotional investing, you can come up with a clear thesis because what you're doing is learning how to interpret what the markets are saying. Now, it sounds a little hippie to be like the market whisperer, but it works. Look at it work. Just go back and watch all of my videos starting around April, May. In March, I was a little worried that we were going to like crash face first into the ground. So I was making coffee, sitting by the fire, and just being grateful to be alive at all. Like when I saw people falling face first in in China in February, I was like extremely worried. That's a different story though. Now that we've gone and we've focused entirely on market sentiments and don't ever talk about anything else, whether it's political or any of the other number of regions of things that might be going on in the world, aside from me taking ayahuasca, I've become very clear and concise with my own feelings about what's going on in the market, so I ignore everybody else because to me, everybody else is just noise. Now, that's a lot to say because one of the big problems, guys, theta, 4-hour short trade. Don't listen to that, guys. Don't read into that too deeply. Just it's my own little indicators. And again, likely what we're witnessing is small scale changes in the alternative sector as Bitcoin starts to scare everyone out of their alternative positions that are in profit and not scare them. Like, good on them. If you just made a bunch of money on Aave or Cardano or Link or Ethereum, take some profits. And where do you take it? You take it back into Bitcoin because Bitcoins are freaking money, right? The Bitcoin money god here. We're just going to like draw the Bitcoin and the money. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? So as people bring in profits from the alternative asset space, their venture capital bag, they generally move back into Bitcoin. And this is what's going to create a run into resistance here. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is it. This is the bull market. We're going to start here. And I don't think that's the case. I think we're going to probably have to wait till let's say March 11th, the day the pandemic started over a year ago. I believe the day the bull market will start again. Now, I don't know why that is exactly, but there's something special about March 11th. I don't know. Do your homework. The point of this is Bitcoin's the new money of this ecosystem. So as people see gains, whether even from Link, up again, we're up like hundreds of percent from Link in the previous trading range, right? And here we are back in December of Link from the bottom at, this is Ethereum. Sorry, even Ethereum, right? We're up 225%, and they just look so similar. From Link, we're up 152%. From Cardano, we're up 309%. Go Cardano, right? Shout out to Charles Hoskinson for being such a gangster. And then from Aave, 233% since January, basically. So we see this similar pattern, and because of this, a lot of people are going to take profits back into Bitcoin, our primary money, and then generally reallocate into some of these other assets that are closer to a breakout. Link, for instance, is right there. Ethereum, for instance, is also right at that kind of final breakout point too. So these backup phases likely become the stronger ones. Well, generally Aave might see a longer term or like a more wider scale, not distribution, but reaccumulation pattern, something like this here. We have your primary support here, your buying climax here. Very similar to what we're looking at with Bitcoin, just again on a different time frame. So the reason we go over this every day with you guys is because The sickness of the mind of the new investor and trader is lack of education and over emotional investing, because there's a lot of people out there that will send you down the wrong direction. And the cure is a healthy environment for education and emotion. That's why we created the Arcane Bear private family like bear den. So if you find and feel yourself an adventurous and like learning new things, why not join the private bear group in the links down below by going to arcanebear.com/private, where we go over these with hundreds of other private investors and take a look and really try to build confidence and remove the emotional aspect here. Because when you do that, instead of looking at a 5-minute chart, asking ourselves like, oh my God, it's like, this is a distribution again. Like, where am I in the markets? Are we going back down to 20 grand? What we can do is we can take these much larger macro perspectives. We can be calm. I feel fairly confident we're going to hundreds of thousands of dollars of Bitcoin. We may be there by the end of this fucking year after March 11th. So if we draw out to March 11th, this is my particular date. I'm going to stake this flag here right now, and I'm not going to change it till March 11th. You guys can celebrate with me if I get it right. Boom, there it is. That's a red line hard stop. What I do is I think we go something like this. We see a backup or a run of resistance and then break against the creek, and then boom, we just shoot out of there. Let's go. And we're just, so basically I'll leave that March 11th hard date there. I won't change it. And we probably should change the color though, just so it's green. We'll try to like color coordinate our sentiment here. I think that that's a green moment. And I think that this is a green sentiment as well. Again, looking back or looking forward, I guess, to some degree, this break above the creek is really what we're looking for. And we haven't had that yet. So I will draw the creek as the red because it's kind of our support, our resistance to some degree. And I believe it drops something like this. So there you go. Just so you guys get this will be our creek. Okay, creek, cross that creek, 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 creek. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying my late night live streams. So what's the point of all this? Be patient, number one. Number two, there are other assets that are looking very powerful for that. This resistance check of the creek before we break out on Bitcoin and go, I think probably going to run to $60,000 to $85,000 on this next move. And again, we'll have multiple reaccumulations within that. We'll go like 50, 60,000, 40, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 85, and then blah, 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 blah. We'll have another big reaccumulation pattern, probably very, very similar to what we're witnessing now. But once we get out of the box, you'll start to see these smaller reaccumulation patterns. We've got like a reaccumulation pattern here and a reaccumulation pattern here, effectively, just like we saw when we left the trading range back here at 10 grand. Again, guys, the importance of this is to study. So please take the time, and why not take the plunge and join the private group. It's well worth it. Okay, I love the late night streams. Keep these going. I appreciate that. Awesome. You guys are doing great. Loving the analysis. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, everything's going smoothly then. So again, if we make a comparative analysis here between the rest of the sector, a lot of these are getting ready to explode, and we can see that. So I think Bitcoin's check against the resistance right now is just kind of a fake out. It's people taking profits from Aave, from Cardano, and moving into what's effectively become our money. And because I prophesized the market coming of $40,000 Bitcoin just weeks ago, and for this run into resistance, I feel pretty confident about that because I haven't changed. Not once have I fluttered in that. Now, the only time we've made conjecture, I was like, okay, well, maybe you could say that we're witnessing a bull flag, and that was invalidated really quickly by an Elon Musk tweet. And further, it just became a secondary test. So even though we create conjecture sometime, guys, just to go out and see like, well, did I get it wrong? I made 2 videos. Was I wrong? You have to ask that question. I didn't think I was. In fact, if you watch both those videos, at the conclusion, I said, no, I think we've got this perfectly correct. Anyways, the point of that, again, is please do your homework, because the confidence I have, I cannot give to you. The ability to buy Bitcoin at $200 and hold on like a champion when no one else believed in what I thought was coming, that took a lot of confidence and balls. It took a little bit of crazy as well. So you need to really, again, the sickness of the early stage investor is a sickness of lack of education and emotion. And there are ways to combat that. And it's through education and confidence effectively. So I feel very confident about what we're about to witness here. Again, we might get a run all the way up to 42,000 for the resistance check here. And then before we get this nice breakdown, I do think that brings us to around February 22nd, and then into the March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th area is where we start to see the final backup phase. Just like we see here, our LPS. So I think we jump across the creek probably February. Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's be like super Nostradamus. Let's go February 23rd, basically. I think we jump across the creek. And by February 11th, I think we are leaving the LPS. Now, don't hold me to that because I could be wrong. But, you know, I figured I'd make some outlandish predictions because we've got, not predictions, but whispers. This is what I think the market is whispering to me, and time will tell. You write those down in your calendars, guys. I wonder if I can set calendar alerts on the date. No, only on the price. I would like a date set, please. Won't let me do it. Okay, never mind. I was hoping you could set an alert on the date, but you can't. You can only set it on the price. Okay, so next thing. The point of all this, guys, again, is really what we try to do by showing up with these episodes is to instill as much confidence as possible. There's a lot of YouTubers out there, and I'm not ragging on them. I mean, I'm good on them for bringing so much attention to the crypto space, but they don't have a clue what they're talking about when it comes to technical analysis. And effectively, I think anyone that tries to sell you leverage is like one step away from being a scammer. Not because leverage is a scam, but because if you're a new investor, it's just going to lose money for you. And it's one of the easiest times to make money is during a bull market. So guys, if you're new, please stay away from like over trading or leverage trading. It's just bad for your portfolio. Even trading when you're in your first year is pretty much bad. You could just literally buy and accumulate right now and worry about selling later when I go like this and you're like, oh shit, Tio's screen is red. We should fucking think about maybe selling or having some options open to cover our accounts. But until then, you can pretty much keep accumulating. And that's the craziest part about this is when we were at 19,000, when we were at 23,000, I said, guys, I'm still buying more. And not only that, people who have way more money than me, people like Michael Saylor, Grayscale, they're still buying day over day, and they're buying a lot more. And they're going to continue to buy other assets like Ethereum. They're going to buy Link. They're going to buy Cardano. They're probably even going to start buying Aave, KNC, and the rest of these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream tonight. We will continue to go on down a little further banter with you guys and take a look at some of your guys' thoughts and questions. What's your thoughts on futures? I think the futures for Ethereum will ultimately drive the price higher. I believe that because this structure is so bullish right now, and again, if you've been studying with this for quite some time, and I hope you have been, and if you haven't, you can go back and watch the videos or just please join the private group. There's an enormous amount of information that you can learn that will be very, very helpful for you. But see the green descending line that I've drawn here about a week ago with this nice red pointer arrow now. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Let's paint, don't think. Okay, paint on the chart. This is a quiver arrow. So this is the descending volume, descending supply, excuse me, and rising price. Very bullish indicator right here. So I don't believe the CME futures is going to disrupt the bullish indicator. The people that are playing on futures in the CME are fucking smart traders. They have hundreds of millions, if not sometimes hundreds of billions of dollars in assets under management. And they're not going to trade against this type of market momentum. They're going to join it. It could be ultimately extremely bullish for Ethereum to see futures be included. Now, we could see a temporary downside, and we could see a backup phase that comes ultimately, say, somewhere to the top of our POC if we scroll in here, very similar to what we saw with Aave. So Aave was a nice example of this, where you had the rising wedge pattern, this is why we don't pattern trade because it doesn't make any sense. We only Wyckoff and we try to Wyckoff every day just to stay regular. But see how the backup after this SOS came, or this backup after the SOS came all the way down to the point of control. You might see something similar like that for Ethereum, and because what futures might add is the ability for people that have, let's say, $100 million, which is a big number. And there's people like that have hundreds of millions of dollars in Ethereum. They might take out like a 10x option, a short position with, let's say, $100,000 just to cover the downside in case there is like some cataclysmic movement. And this basically acts as insurance for them. If they have $100 million, they really don't mind spending 100,000 up this high for it to go totally bust, and use that basically as insurance against their long position. So keep that in mind. Although I do believe futures will ultimately drive the price up for Ethereum, you could have big players step in, put downward pressure on the ecosystem to some degree from those shorts that they take to cover their $100 million position with like $100,000 or something like that, push it down to the point of control before you see again ultimately what became a very bullish structure for Aave as well. So I do believe the futures is going to be bullish in sentiment, but keeping an eye on these structures as they grow is really one of the most important parts we can do. Because again, I'm not trying to predict the market, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying to hear what the market is saying. And the better you get at that, the more profitable you become through that process. So it's a very, very valuable thing to do. The futures for Ethereum come out on February 8th. So we are approximately 3 days away from that. So 3 more days. Tres más días. OV Phillips, please stop spamming the channel because we will just delete you. KTM Idaho says, if you keep buying, you'll never get it right. Or wait, keep buying, you'll never get it right. If it does dip from here, catch the backup. Okay, you guys are having your own conversation, I see. Why doesn't anyone talk about the cross option instead of leveraging? Yeah, we do talk about options, but right now, in the middle of a bull market, options are less useful. Options are a great way to go. Options are a great way to go for covering positions when we're up at the really, really high levels or really, really low levels, and you're looking for what could effectively amount to insurance on your account. I think it's a really important way to go. Can we look at Litecoin? Again, guys, I try to focus on the market leaders, and I try to ignore most of the other things. And there's a reason for that. The market leaders just have a really strong playground to move forward with. And that's a really valuable point to understand, is you want to follow the momentum, right? So Litecoin's momentum is significantly lower than a lot of the other plays at this particular moment. So in that, I try to remove how many things I'm looking at. It just makes it so much easier to play that way. Okay, we're back to trading view there. Take a look at a few more of your guys' thoughts and questions. Let's see here. Can we look at Litecoin? Okay, well, tell you what, I'll look at it. But again, I try to focus on the market movers, not the market laggers. The market laggers are not anywhere near as, let's say, sexy as me. Sexy to me. Apparently the market leaders aren't as sexy as me either. Oh, the things we say when it's late at night. Okay, Litecoin to USD. So again, it's just a simple conjecture here to take a look at why I believe that. Again, guys, don't believe anything I say. Like if you're like gung ho on Link, like don't let me stop you. You do whatever you think you should be doing. That's definitely the way to go. But more importantly, if we measure from March 12th to today, Litecoin's only up 500% versus US dollar. So that means why would you want to be in Litecoin when you could have been in Bitcoin and been up 10x? You could have been in Ethereum and been up 18x. You could have been in Link and been up, let's see here, from March. Go back to the daily. So again, what I'm trying to do is make conjecture around why I don't look at Litecoin on a frequent basis. It's because I try to follow the market leaders only. From Link to today, 1,299%. Cardano from March to today. Again, what we're doing is making a comparison against why I don't look at Litecoin with any serious ferocity. Link 20, Cardano 2300%. Oh my god. That means if you put $1,000 in Cardano in March, on March 11th of last year, it would be worth $23,000 today, approximately. Aave, even bigger, technically speaking. Let's do Aave. And again, what I'm doing is building conjecture around why I'm not like constantly looking at Litecoin or something, and why I don't think you should be looking at it either necessarily. I try to follow the ones that are producing the effects that I'm looking for in the market, which are hopefully up effects. So let's go roughly March 30th. That's close enough. March 30th to today, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I'm at negative $1. That's why that was a little bit lower here. Let's go to the daily for Aave. It'll make it a little easier. Okay, we'll go from the point of control, which was around $3, $1.80. 26,000% for Aave since March. Did you hear that? 26,000% since March for Aave. And you want to look at Litecoin. See, this is just silliness to me. If you had put $1,000 in Link, in Aave on March 11th, approximately, it would be worth $280,000 today. Okay? Yes. So that's my thought on that one. Okay. Would you ever consider trading other people's money in a fund? A bigger fund, yes, and I would only focus on venture capital. I don't think I would do trading for a fund. I would do venture capital. I like venture capital. I like finding gems before other people recognize them. It's one of my favorite things to do, just in life in general. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. So it would be a venture capital fund if I were to open it. Good question. Okay, back to our Bitcoin chart here. We've got our hard green line drawn on the chart for now. Is Aave going higher? Oh, come on, Wendell. Well, I guess our P&F charts that Blue shared had us up as around 1,000. My original Fibonacci charts have us around maybe $700 to $1,000 as well. So yeah, somewhere around $1,000 maybe for Aave was our target, which is just ridiculous, by the way. Why is Litecoin such a lagger? Well, people are choosing one money. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's what the market's doing. Any music tonight? Yeah, sure. I'll end the episode with some music tonight. Sounds great. Where does ETH end up if Bitcoin pulls back? Who cares if it pulls back to 34 or 35K? That's totally an irrelevant question, Cole, because they're not connected in any way. They're definitely not connected. Again, simple math, guys. I don't know how Bitcoin maximalists have missed this, but if you start from March 11th, and we're going to use that day, if you start on March 11th and you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, it'd be worth around $10,000. If you bought $1,000 worth of Ethereum, it would be worth around $18,000. If you bought $1,000 worth of Link, it would be worth around $23,000. If you bought $1,000 worth of ADA on March 11th, it would be worth around $28,000. If you bought $1,000 worth of Aave on March 11th, it would be worth almost $256,000. So just investing in Bitcoin makes you look like a retard. So the point I'm trying to make here is, and I know you're obviously not comparing Bitcoin as like the most important asset, is to understand that these are not correlated to one another. How much Bitcoin goes up does not reflect how much Aave went up in any way, shape, or form. And how much Bitcoin goes down will not reflect how much Aave goes down either. These are simply questions of supply and demand on illiquid products, and they're not related to each other. The only thing that we have to recognize right now is that we are in a bull market, so things will go up. Everything will go up. Everything will go down. So yeah, it's a good question, but I definitely don't think I don't think that they're a relevant relationship to each other anymore. Not since the big boys showed up. The people that have hundreds of millions of dollars still measure their portfolio alpha in US dollars. Hedge funds like Grayscale that manage how many billions of dollars in assets under management, right? Everything, all the alpha is still managed in US dollars. You'd be keen to recognize that, because when the big players showed up, it changed everything. Yeah, Seabass. Actually, Seabass says something really fun here that I like. Seabass says, I bought $1,000 in 10x in 2017. It's worth $40 now. So this is the important part to understand, again, about venture capital, is you're going to get some wrong. Every venture capitalist knows that they make failure investments. And they account for that by making multiple investments in smaller sizes. And you usually win through a numbers game, not because you got it right. That's a totally different function. So definitely take a focus on venture capital. I highly suggest watching the podcast we did with David Hornick. So if you guys haven't yet, you can go to all of our social channels, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Go to our website, all that fun stuff. But more importantly, check out David Hornick and the Arcane Bear. Now, this is a very not often watched podcast, but David Hornick is one of the Midas Touch venture capital investors by Forbes list. David Hornick is also one of the managing partners of August Capital. He was a VC partner, Harvard at law school. He plays multiple instruments. What's his net worth? I think his net worth is like $2.65 billion from his venture capital investments. And he managed to get like 7 out of every 10 investments right, which is enormously powerful. Again, watch that podcast with David Hornick, and you can research him here. I think it says how. Yeah, he was one of the first investors in Aardvark, Ebates, Evite, Gravity, PayCycle, Home Technology, Drop, Fastly, GitLab, Insight, Inquires, LiveOps, Kinetic, Mainnext, Nomus Solutions, PayNearMe. Not all of these were extremely successful, but he bought into GitLab at seed stage. That's, you put 10 grand in there that's what venture capital looks like. This one play made up for the fact that Hi Hello and MaintainX were not maybe all these huge winners that I've never heard of. So again, it's important to understand that look how many venture capital plays he made. Things like GitLab, Fastly, these paid off orders of magnitude higher than all the like a bunch that were not as popular, right? So it's important to recognize that. Nice. Joseph, Saf McCallum just subscribed. You guys got the Pepe face over mine. That's good. So any one of you guys that subscribe to the channel, you will drop a Pepe face over mine. Nice. Legendary Ecom Leads just dropped another Pepe face over mine. Thank you for that. It was a fun little additive we joined in on the stream there. Why did we fail to cross 40K tonight with all that momentum? Yeah, we've gone over this multiple times. Just go back to the beginning of the video. Back here, we said we wouldn't make it past 40,000 unless we get to 42. And then again, I think we're going to hit this break below the creek, because what we are looking for is this pattern here. This conventional reaccumulation pattern, I believe, is the strongest one. A lot of the people in this chat need to buy big boy pants. Yeah, I agree with that. Anyone who's not wearing big boy pants and asking little boy questions do not get an answer of any kind, in case you're wondering why I'm not chatting with you. There's no such thing as manipulation, Wendell, in price markets. It's simply buying and selling. If there's not enough people buying, that's not manipulation. It's just how it goes. JW says, guys, subscribe. It's so worth it. JW, I appreciate that. You're a gangster. I appreciate all your guys' support. Remember to give us those thumbs up. Helps other people later on down the stream find the information that you might be looking for. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I follow momentum now. It's been a big changeover for me, and it makes a big difference. Can you define the creek and how the placement is determined? That's not an easy answer, but it's generally, you could look at it as a stacked moving averages. So there's a few ways to do that. They're momentum indicators. It's much more for advanced traders. I try to get rid of the stuff that you guys don't need to be for the advanced side of things. But here's our bear claw. There, you just boom, look at all that noise. That's what a momentum trade looks like. Hardly any understanding of clarity in there whatsoever. But again, your creek is approximately something like this. So we're kind of just running up into the resistance, but more primarily it would run across that yellow line that we have on our previous indicator on our CryptoVac. So we'll remove some of this color here and this nonsense. But you can, that's kind of what the creek looks like. It's just this mass barrage of things. But see these two yellow lines here, one at the top and one at the second one. These are the two areas of resistance that basically outline the start of our creek. So your creek would look like this. Something like this. So it's basically your first areas of resistance from the top of your trading range. That's a simple way to put it. I really enjoyed your live stream, man. Thank you, Jason Feller. I love being able to do these with you guys. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Aaron Field says, I love the content and trust the research and interpretation, so I signed up for the private membership. Where can I find the videos not posted on YouTube? We do webinars in the private group. The unlisted videos are also in the webinar section of the private Discord chat. If you have any, guys, if you've joined the private group and if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to reach out to our admin, Lindley or Bitwit. You can ask me, but chances are I probably won't answer. I'll just tell you to ask Lindley because it's literally why that's why we hire him, right? So don't take Lindley's job away, Tio, by doing, no, just ask Lindley if you're in the private group or if you have any questions. And you're in the private group, you can email info@arcanebear.com and one of our admin staff will help you out. If you could put $1,000 in anything, what would it be? Well, that's a bold question. I really like Avalanche just because my tech team is smarter than I am. So I would throw it in the tech team. I don't know what 5,000 NOK is. What the heck is an NOK? I mean, thank you, EH. EH gives us 5,000 NOK and says thanks for being and hopefully this goes to Kiva. I'm gonna have to figure out what the heck an NOK is now. I don't even know what country that's from. Alex Kushner says, Tio is the legit best person out there with no fucks given on what happens. He just wants to help educate the people and learn. Love joining this group. Made some real money here. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate you too, brother. You're a great gentleman. Samp says, Arcane Bear, how long do you think this bull run will last for? How many years? I'm trying to take it one day at a time, but more specifically, again, if you see the shit change to red, be worried. But for now, we're just going to keep it on green. Once it turns red, though, we'll let you know. Tio, I caught your interview with Show Me the Crypto or whatever. Dug it. Have you done other interviews? I've been on a few other podcasts. I seldomly get invited. I'm not super popular. I'm pretty an eclectic person. Norway Corona. Kronas? Oh, what the heck's a Corona? Oh, wait, did you just give us like $500, EH? Okay, hold on a sec. Let's double check. Because then we got to make sure that goes on to Kiva. Okay, NOK, it's USD to NOK. Let's check out here. One of you guys just gave us 5,000 NOK. Is that what it was? Oh wow, you just gave us like $600. Okay, I don't want to log into Kiva right now because I'll have to log in via PayPal, and I only got $28 in there right now. But what we will do, because you just gave us that, for those of you that don't know, we are big fans of Kiva. It is a non-profit organization that makes loans to underbanked entrepreneurs. This month alone, we've lent $1,200, and between the Arcane Bear group, we have lent, I think, you guys on your guys' side too. You've lent an additional $2,300 just for this month. So together this month, we've lent over $3,400 to entrepreneurs around the world. See, I'm not even logged in yet, so give me a sec, guys. I have to. I want to log back in here, but we'll lend that $28 out, and then tomorrow, EH, in your name, from Norway, we will make that loan to an entrepreneur. That's the biggest super chat we've ever gotten, by the way. So NOH if you want, or EH if you want, please email info@arcanebear.com, and we'll try to get you a free t-shirt as well for that, because you just won something fun by making the biggest live chat we've ever had. So that's super awesome. So we'll make sure that that goes to Kiva, but again, I don't want to log into my PayPal on the live stream, so we'll do that again. Wait, and another 500. EH, you're a champion. Eric, please, again, if you can, I would really appreciate it if you emailed info@arcanebear.com. We're definitely going to hook you up with a shirt. Eric's given us over $1,200 tonight for the Kiva campaign. I appreciate that. I'm not going to load Kiva up right now, but I will do that tomorrow. So Eric, please tune back in tomorrow. For now, what we will do is we'll loan the 28 bucks that we currently have into our account, and we'll find a female entrepreneur to lend it out to. Let's see, do they make loans to Norway? Let's see here. Thank you guys for all the support. That was super fun. So now we're going to go through a Kiva thing. This is one of the fun things about the live chat. Oh, they don't know entrepreneurs in Kiva to Norway. I thought I'd take a look for you, Eric, but it's not. We'll just go, okay, let's see here. I usually like to pick women and agriculture or education. These are good. Let's go education. I think we haven't done an educational one yet. Let's scroll down here. Eti in Indonesia, China and Cambodia helps pay her for her educational fees. Let's see here. Indonesia, alone smart child for educational needs. Panawad. These ones I've never done the education. Let's just stick with women. This is the one I'm like, I've been practicing my whole life to try to understand the opposite sex. So let's just keep going. Let's just keep going down that angle. I'll keep my life simple here. I still know nothing. That's not true. I'm just making fun of myself. Okay, so we'll pick. So guys, for those of you that don't know, Kiva, again, is this beautiful nonprofit organization that helps fund underbanked, underserved entrepreneurs. So Juvie, let's take a look at Juvie's story. Juvie is in the Philippines, and she's looking for money. So one of the things here, guys, is that Kiva has something called field partners. And these field partners are basically people that go out and find these entrepreneurs and help them go through the loan-bearing process, and also how they repay Kiva through this. So we've got 25 bucks in there. She needs another 75, so we'll get her one step closer to that. And then tomorrow, Eric, when you come back on the show, we'll do a much bigger contribution to Kiva on your behalf, on the Arcane Bears family behalf as well. So thanks for that. Let's see, that puts us right at 28 bucks. We'll go here. So we've go, boom, make it easy. Bam, just like that. Awesome. The Juvie in the Philippines, money to help buy some more. Tweet it out here really quickly too. Sorry guys, I know we want to be looking at charts and stuff instead, but okay, boom, there we go. Thanks for that, Eric. I appreciate that. That was fun. Much wow. Okay, I guess that means we should probably look at Dogecoin, because Elon Musk just tweeted much wow. Nice. What is Doge doing? Okay. So again, guys, Doge is a perfect example for a learning opportunity here. We have gone over this a few times before, that markets are not moved by fundamentals. Ultimately, that's a really important thing to start to understand, is that markets are moved by money and money alone. So if a market moves into an illiquid product, that product price will go up. If the supply from that product comes into the market and sells, that product's price will go down. So here is a perfect example, Dogecoin. Volume and buy pressure started to come in, and you saw an 1,100% gain in less than 1 day, basically. And then it retraced a lot of that, around 60% of it, and then after has made another 45% increase. Now, what's interesting here is you're actually seeing a potentially bullish pattern create itself here. Now, I'm not smart enough to know anything about Dogecoin. I have looked a little bit. I tried to ask my tech team. They gave me a kind of a cocky answer. I wasn't super stoked about that. But nonetheless, if people want to buy and sell something, that's their prerogative. And that's really all there is to a market. There's no such thing as manipulation. That's just literally how a market works. I love, and Alex asked, can we look at Link? Now, Alex, you and I have gone over this before, and literally the point of these backup phases is to get you to think exactly like that. We've been waiting for this to pop a while. Look, it did pop. It popped into its backup phase. So I'll give you, we'll go over Link. I'll show you guys here, right? Because I've gone over this a few times. Predominantly, one of the things I got wrong was I thought this was going to be a rising gradient bottom, kind of similar to what we saw in Aave before it exploded. But when it didn't, when it broke down below that, I adjusted my sentiment and I started to look at it like this. So here's our spring. So from our spring, let's see, on the 27th, we've been up 136%, Alex. So I think patience is an important keyword to understand, because 136%. Oh wait, hold on a sec. Shit. There you go. BTC share. So the spring here. Oh, we didn't even look at Doge then either. Okay. So Alex, about the idea for Link here, from December 24th, basically Christmas time to now, you're up 180% approximately. That's amazing. So we've been waiting for it to pop. It has popped. It went from its primary trading range into its backup range, and it's now in the final stages of its SOS out of that backup. You understand? So this stuff takes time, and more importantly, what we want to look for are these much larger patterns. Oh, Eric, another 5,000 Norway krones or geez, Norway, another $600. Maybe we could loan to 3 different countries. Okay, we will. Come back to more, Eric. And again, please email info@arcanebear. We'll make sure you get a free t-shirt for handing out such big super chats. I appreciate that. You're the man, Eric. Shout out to Eric. We're going to get you a t-shirt, Eric. And we'll put those as loans on Kiva. I appreciate that. And it's fantastic. You guys are awesome. I love these live chats. Big gifts, big up, Eric Escobar. That's funny. Eric, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that you guys enjoy these Kiva campaigns. It means the world to me that we've gotten to a place where this brand can do good things in the world by collaborating together. Seriously, don't make me cry, guys. I'm on a live stream. But seriously though, it means a lot to me. It means a lot that we can all collaborate to help other people. That's literally why I started this channel. So to finally get to these elative moments for me is like, yay, I'm super stoked for that. Get him a sweatshirt. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the Arcane Bear sweatshirt. If you haven't checked it out yet, we've got the sweet Arcane Bear logo on the back. Go buy yourself some Arcane Bear swag by going to arcanebear.com/shop, or follow the links below. And if you want to join the Kiva team as well, that's arcanebear.com/Kiva. Awesome. Okay, well, guys, that's a beautiful live stream. If you guys want me to stay on longer, I will. Nice. Blockchain Planet just says I lent out money on Kiva as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are fantastic. You guys are okay. I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Thank you for again. Super big shout out to Eric for that one. And again, please remember, the Norwegian krona or krona is Swedish. Krone is Norwegian. Okay, thank you. I'm going to have to come visit one day. The mountains there look absolutely beautiful. Stay. Okay, I'll stay. I'll hang out for a little bit. It's 10:40 though. So tell you what, I'll give you guys 20 more minutes. I'll give you guys 20 more minutes for us to chill here. And I'll just look at the live stream questions and we'll kind of make some conjecture. More time, please. David S. David S says $5 for matching the 5,000 NOx. David, 5,000 NOx is $568. So you're $563 short. But thank you. We'll knock that into the Kiva account tomorrow as well. But I definitely don't like logging onto PayPal in the live stream. It's just a personal habit of mine. Give Eric a hoodie. Lives in the cold country. Okay, Eric, we'll get you a hoodie. Again, please email info@arcanebear.com and we'll set you up there. Or just go to the store, order it, and then don't pay, and then let our admin staff know, and I'll push it through. Or let me know, and I'll push it through. And if you want to email me, email info@arcanebear.com, and our admin team will connect you to me, and I'll send you a personal thank you. David says, I just want to keep you on longer, bro. I appreciate that. No, I'm just messing around. I wasn't giving you a hard time. We'll put all of this evening's super chats into Kiva for tomorrow. What are your thoughts on AMP token? I don't know what AMP token is, so let's give it 5 seconds of time here. What are you up to this weekend, brother? Oh, I might go out on the bike ride to some beautiful stuff going on. Is GameStop's down at $63. Different story. AMP might not get very much of my time here. Nice, 100 CZK. What? See, now I'm gonna have to figure out what all these currencies are, guys. We've got Bear family from all around the world. Kiva is spelled Kiva, by the way. You guys are fantastic. Okay, now I have to figure out what's a CZK. Another for the another Cronus. What's CZK? Is that a Costa Rican colone? No. Which currency is CZK? Oh, a Czech corona. Another. Jesus. Eric drops another 5,000 kronas, and the Czech corona. Man, thank you guys. This live stream chat is blown up tonight. You guys, Eric, you're a legend. Yeah, Eric, definitely. Please email info@arcanebear.com. I want to reach out to you personally. We'll make sure we actually would like to jump on a call and thank you personally as well, because I'm really grateful for when those kind of things happen for the live chat. Cool. So thank you for the Czech corona as well. I'm learning stuff from the Czech Republic. You guys are awesome. Really, really excited about that. Okay, so to Gemini, we'll take a look at the AMP USD. Let's see here. I'm probably not going to give it too much time, but I'll just do my general conjecture, which is we go back to March if we can, and we take a look at the price evaluation from March to today. And I tell you what I think. Oh God, no, I would not touch AMP personally, just not my flavor. There's no consistent trading range. There's nothing that I see here that looks good. I wouldn't touch AMP personally. Thoughts on 1 inch? I really like all of the automated market makers. Next week, guys, we're going to try to get OctoFi on as one of our guests. It's another decentralized automated market maker. So for those of you that haven't seen these, like 1 inch? Okay, well, this is going to be fun, guys. Here's 1 inch, and you can trade bear for Aave and Aave for bear, vice versa. That's kind of fun. 1 inch has a really cool automated market maker router. I like 1 inch, aside from the token price. We'd gone over 1 inch previously, but you also have Sushi Swap, and you also have OctoFi. Again, I just want to kind of highlight the point of this is that there's a lot of opportunities for learning about DEXs here, or the decentralized indexes. I don't know why OctoFi is not loading. I don't want to install something new. Sorry, OctoFi, not right now. So aside from price, and again, guys, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but remember, I think one of the best conjectures to understand how quickly technology gets replaced is by looking at the DVD, because there are a lot of kids younger than me that don't have really any idea what a DVD is, right? You got to remember there's a whole generation of people that have grown up without ever using a CD or a tape cassette or any of that shit. So in terms of what it will 1 inch be around 5 years from now, I'm not sure. Can you make profits off of it in the short term as a venture capital bet? Yeah, probably. But it's much more that long-term game plan that I'm interested in. Nice. Jason Feller, another contribution to our Kiva campaign. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Wi-Fi making some nice gains over the last 24 hours. Someone said, Johnny says as well. So again, guys, this whole venture capital sector around the DeFi space has been explosive. And one of the ways I think it's really advantageous to look at it is to chart the DeFi perpetual index. And first off, if you were in our private group, you would have gotten this message, which was the buy signal effectively. And again, we don't actually recommend buying. It's just an explanation of education. And here you can see this rising megaphone pattern that we've talked about many times before. And the explosion of this outside of the box. So the whole DeFi sector has just blown outside of this rising megaphone pattern. David S., $100. Geez, guys, this is the most contributions I've ever seen on a live stream. Thank you. So I'm a little bit befuddled. Yes, David, I will answer that question. Just I want to finish this sentiment first here. So when we're looking at these rising megaphone patterns, one of the things that so this is a really common one, the Jesse Livermore pattern. Okay, so this is one we've gone over a few times, and I've started to share it more frequently. It represents something I think that's interesting in terms of when you start to leave the horizontal trading ranges and the backups. So here you can see this widening mouth, or what I like to call a widening megaphone pattern. And we've seen this multiple times. So here on the DeFi perpetual index, you can see this rising megaphone pattern. And once we broke out of it, it became absolutely explosive. And it wasn't the only time we saw this. We actually saw this in Ethereum back in the beginning of this bull market. And it was one of the reasons why I started to go hyper bullish. Was here, actually, look, it's still drawn in there. Perfect. Is again this rising megaphone pattern, and look what happens once you start to break out of that pattern. I'll clean this up a little bit here, but as you can see, the Jesse Livermore pattern combined with the Wyckoff trading method are extremely powerful, because if you can find the horizontal trading ranges that lead to these widening megaphone patterns, once you get to the end of the rising or the widening megaphone, you see these massive moves. So again, the DeFi perpetual index outside of that rising megaphone pattern, boom. Ethereum, which we just looked at, and there were a few others. Was it Uniswap or no? Sushi Swap was one of these other ones. Rising megaphone pattern, kaboom, and there was a few more. So 1 inch was the other question. Geez, you guys are just blowing me up with super chats. I haven't even finished one question yet. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Alex. The super chat as well. Love what you do. Blessings on blessings. This is amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm really, really grateful that again, this all goes to Kiva. Every super chat you guys give just goes to Kiva. I don't keep it, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. We make it as loans out to entrepreneurs, and then we keep lending it out to entrepreneurs, and then eventually it kind of probably becomes a tax write-off, but that's a different story because I make donations to Kiva as well, and they give me tax receipts, but that's a different story. I'm literally just here for the Kiva hype train. Jonathan Rorlick says, another $10 super chat. You guys are blowing my shit up right now. Okay, I have to go back and look because there's two more. David S. says, can you please share your thoughts on insane high gas fees right now for these exchanges? It's like $50 to $100 for each exchange traded on the dexes. I appreciate you. So this is a great question, and I think it's an important one to go over. So guys, again, before we kind of leave this area, look at this speculative widening megaphone pattern. It's very powerful. Again, look at what happened with Sushi once you broke out of that pattern, multiple 100% gains. And I believe something similar with 1 inch was taking place. But back to Uniswap as a kind of conjecture moment. So here's Uniswap, and here is the Bear token. So on Uniswap, you can buy Arcane Bear token. Now, I'm not suggesting you do that, but I'm going to use it as conjecture for a minute. The reason why everything is so expensive is because, well, let's go make nice 53 minutes ago, someone bought some Bear token. But let's make some conjecture around why. So David's question is, can you share your thoughts about the insane gas fees on Uniswap? So the reason why gas fees are very high is because generally when you pay a lawyer, you pay a good lawyer a certain amount of money to execute a contract. Ethereum is literally contracts, like escrow transactions, right? So the reason you can go in and you can trade Ethereum for Bear, and you could go, okay, well, I want to trade all my Ethereum that I have in this MetaMask wallet, and I'm going to get 1,716 Bear right now. That's a contract. And the Bear that's in one contract is having to operate with another contract that you execute when you hit swap, which would now trade that Ethereum for that Bear and put them in different wallets effectively. The reason that's so expensive is because it's being executed the same way a lawyer would execute a contract. So when I go get a notary or a simple signature from a lawyer, it costs $50 to $100. If I go to a lawyer and try to get escrow, it might cost thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the complexity of the contract, or if you want to do your will. So really, in some degree, you can make a statement that the fees are not that high based off the fact that these are contracts. Geez, you guys are just blowing up the super chats right now. It's just dinging and dinging in my ear. Let's take a look. No way. Calvin Smith drops 19. I don't want to be left out for the super chat chain. Robert Yates says, I love the Kiva project. Joining the Bear Den is essential, guys. Another $200. $5 from another 5,000. Man, you guys are absolutely astounding. Seriously, thank you so much. We're going to end up having to drop like what is that? It's almost $2,500 we're going to have to put in Kiva tomorrow. That's amazing. Thank you. The kids, this whole live stream is basically about Kiva at the moment. Yes. 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 I can't tell you how happy that makes me feel, guys. Stop. Like, seriously. It's so good. That's amazing. Okay, so there was questions I ran by in the super chat there. Okay, so first off, Eric, again, thank you so much. Go, 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 go. Okay, I love that. That was fun. Original Birth, $5 for the super chat. Thank you. Robert Yates, again, he says, love the Kiva project. Joining the Bear Den is essential, guys. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Calvin Smith Jr. says, I don't want to be left out. Jonathan Rorlick says, I'm just here for the Kiva hype. Alex Kushner, and then I love what you do. Okay, perfect. We got all those ones. And the last question was Unclipped Coupon says, your thoughts on Bitcoin once we when we go past 40K this weekend, maybe even 42K. I don't think we make it past $42,000 on this week. I think we get stuck at this resistance line here, and then we start to form this downward trajectory, very similar to what we've gone over here in the Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern, so that we see a run down pretty much right to the top of the point of control, which is here around 34,000 before we see a breakout. This is the sentiment. I've had this sentiment for almost 30 days. I'm not going to change it just because we're closer to the top of the trading range today. I made this conjecture about the $40,000 run back, was it on the 25th of January? Nice, more dings in my ear. So every time you guys do that, I can hear in my headphones that you guys are making super chats. So I'm just like, I'm surprised. It's like bling, bling, bling. Original Birth drops another $10 in the super chat. Jay Ali says, I'm very happy to be part of the Bear Den. Thank you. I love that you guys are enjoying the private group. That means so much. Another $10 from Original Birth. Dang, you guys are all legends this evening. Seriously. This is amazing. This is the most super chat funding we've ever seen. Thank you guys. I'm really stoked. Kiva is going to have a big contribution from my PayPal in there tomorrow. So thank you guys. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. I hope you enjoyed that every time one of you guys drop a live chat too, it puts a bear over my face. Do you like that? I did that on purpose. Nice. Original Birth just dropping another $10 in there too. You guys are fantastic. Now you're just blowing me up with super chats. I'm going to blush. Okay. I'm going to blush. Tomorrow, when you guys come back for the live stream, we're going to put, I'm going to have to count it all first, because I think it tells me at the end of the YouTube video. I'm going to have to, I'm going to push this all on Kiva. Okay. That was fantastic. Gabriella Allison, nice to see you, says Elon Musk just made a pool tweet about Doge, and look at the chart now. So we had looked at Doge earlier, and it, again, I'm not going to argue against the people's choice of money. Man, Original Birth dropping another $10. Moo and $10. You guys are amazing. Oh, that's great. You guys are all great. Thank you so much for the support. I want to, before we go over Dogecoin, I want to say something, because this means a lot to me. And really quick, yeah, I'll answer some of the other questions you guys are putting in there. Yeah, nice. I will, Alex. I'll definitely title it that. When I first started the Arcane Bear, one of the main reasons that I was getting excited about it is because I knew through the skills that I had, we could build a brand no matter how long it took to get there, where we could do good things with our marketing budgets. That we could build a brand that gives to Kiva. We could build a brand, and I'm hoping one day we can maybe even build like an Arcane Bear school in, say, Guatemala or India. So the fact that you guys just dropped almost $2,500 in super chats to go to Kiva is like, that's so heartwarming for me, because this is literally why I started this channel. I started it so that we could get to these points, to get to these moments. So the fact that this is like that, again, $2,500 is a huge amount of money, because that's going to fund. We'll go out. We'll try to fund multiple entrepreneurs in multiple different countries. We'll make fun of it. We won't spend it all at once, maybe, or maybe we will. I'm not sure. But the point of what I want to get across is that I'm very deeply grateful for your guys' support for us to get this far, because this is the reason why I started this channel. I know like some of you guys have made a bunch of money and finance from the educational stuff that we've gone over, and your confidence has allowed you to continue to build into your portfolio without making as many mistakes. And, you know, because more than maybe even making more money, we've saved you from making expensive mistakes. So the point here again is that even though it's profitable for you guys, I wanted to get to the point where it can be profitable for other people. And the fact that we just like that tonight is this grandeur moment where you guys have come together and thrown a bunch of capital into our Kiva campaign, and Eric leading the way with, I think over $2,000 in super chats from one person. I just thank you so much. And again, Eric, please make sure to email info@arcanebear.com. Kiva says thank you as well. I should almost be making I'm gonna have to make an Instagram story after this one, because this was just absolutely amazing. And Eric will give you some bear token too, because the reason, and for those of you that are wondering why there's an Arcane Bear token, because we briefly went over this while we were making conjecture about Uniswap, is because I like experimenting, and I feel I would be foolish not to experiment. So one of the things we'd actually talked about was doing, well, first off, we're running yield farming on Bear, but maybe running the yield farming, so part of the token yields go to charity. We're just playing around, and maybe X amount of people that held certain amounts of the token could vote on what the DAO of the token did. So because DeFi is kind of all open source, that's what we're aiming at. So in case you guys were wondering why there's a Bear token. Now, you can also get discounted memberships by buying it. I have to legally tell you, I don't think you should buy it, but you can do whatever you want. But I can't tell you to do that. It's just a legal requirement anyways. Nonetheless, that's my experiment with the open decentralized open source technology, is so that we can do that kind of fun stuff with it as well. Opinions on Ethereum on Monday, sell or hold. Yeah, we went over Ethereum in the beginning of the video. I'm getting tired here, guys. We're just running into the 11 p.m. I'm kind of hitting my own like personal mental wall. It's bedtime for me. I go to bed early. I try to wake up around 5:30. I'm just going to quickly go through everyone who gave a super chat. Momo, Original Birth, Cajun Gold, Sky just dropped another $10 in there. Eric Hogan, go, he says, thank you. Everyone else that gave a super chat, let's see who we got in there. Robert Yates, you guys are all amazing. I'll make sure I write all of your names down, and I try to find a way to tag you. Again, if you can, please email info@arcanebear.com if you guys gave a super chat tonight. And what we'll try to do is maybe make a list for this next Kiva donation. I don't know how we'll be able to include it. David S. says, great game with the clapping hippo. I love you, Bear. Thank you, guys. Smash that like button. This was absolutely, oh yeah, music. You guys want me to end the night with some music? I think that's a nice way for me to kind of settle down my evening too. So I'm going to, I'll grab the flute. I'll end the night off with some flute. Again, thank you guys so much. This was like, I'm a little bit of a loss for words because of your support tonight, Eric. It means a great deal to me. Because of my like internal purpose for all of this stuff. So thank you guys. So I'm gonna grab the flute and we'll end off with some soothing music to put you guys to sleep. Okay, so to end tonight's episode, because it was such a wild ride, we're going to go back to this one. And I look ridiculous. TMM also gives us a super chat for this evening. You guys are amazing. This is a native flute made by a gentleman who builds a company called High Spirits, because some of you had asked where you could find these flutes. They're very easy to play, in my opinion. I've been playing music for most of my life, so that's a little crazy one. Again, Wendell says thank you guys to all the donators. Kiva is a great project. I agree. You guys are fantastic. So we'll leave you off with a little bit of let's leave with something happy, even though it is kind of late at night. It should be minor. We'll go with something major to kind of finish off. Yes, thank you. This is T with the Arcane Bear. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening's Kiva campaign, apparently. What a fun ride. I had no idea what to expect on today's episode, and I have you guys to thank for that. Means a great deal. I look forward to meeting you guys in the future when the pandemic cools down. If any of you are ever in Costa Rica, again, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I always like meeting the bear family. It's T with the Arcane Bear. I'm signing off for the rest of the evening. Thank you guys again for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.